Hi friends, hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to talk about the TA job, and essentially TA stands for teaching assistantship, and these are the jobs which many students get when they are doing their master's degree or PhD degree, especially in the US universities and colleges. And what can happen with these jobs is that they not only pay you money, but they can often include a tuition remission, which can make your life very easy in the university. So today I'm going to discuss 7 different factors which will help you get the TA job in any US university or any other university around the world, and how you can boost your career with such a job. So essentially what we see in many universities is that the professors nowadays mostly teach, and they teach lecture classes. They often do not teach things such as tutorials, they do not teach labs and so on. So many a time what happens is that the TAs get the jobs of conducting the labs, holding the tutorials, helping student in the various computer assignments, even grading the homework problems, and sometimes even grading some quizzes and so on. So what happens is that the TAs are a very important component of the university system, and the university actually creates a symbiotic relation between the TAs and the graduate school by letting the TAs get some money, getting some funding in lieu of helping to teach the UG students who are out there, that is the bachelor's degree student. Now, there are some bachelor degree students who also are tutors in some classes, specifically the classes in the first year and so on. For example, they may help in tutoring calculus or writing classes or English classes. But if you go to the higher levels, you will generally find that graduate students are involved. So let us start with this particular list. Now, number one is that you are likely to require a bachelor's degree to become a TA. And bachelor's degree does give the university some believe that you are somebody who has learned some things in your degree curriculum. So very often when you come with a bachelor's degree in math or psychology or physics or mechanical engineering, the university can construe that you know how to teach, or at least how to help in teaching the basic courses in that field. Now throughout the world, the curriculum of these fields, which are generally set by some national body, are very similar. So for example, if you are a mechanical engineering student, you are certainly likely to have studied fluid mechanics, solid mechanics, heat transfer, mechanical design, machine design, and so on. So it is expected that you will be able to do a TA role in these courses. Now, it's always a good idea when you are studying in your bachelor's degree to make sure that in the second and third year you master all the different core subjects, because these are the subjects where you are likely to get the TA job. Now, of course, a master's degree is going to be more useful than a BS degree here, because as far as universities are concerned, they always give credibility to the degree you have. So universities are in the business of giving degrees out. So they like the fact that people have master's degrees, and they will give it more weightage than the bachelor's degree. Now, point number two is about getting good grades, and you have to always try to get good grades in your bachelor's degree, in your master's degree, and so on, because grades are the criteria by which universities figure out whether a person is good or not. And what I would say is that having a grade of more than 3 out of 4 or 3.5 out of 4 is certainly beneficial. And if you are in a different system, maybe you are getting your grades out of 10, then try to get more than 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 to be credible as far as the TA-ship is concerned. Now, generally, it is expected that you should be a A-B student, that is, you should get A grades or B grades. Then you can certainly be a good TA for a particular course. If you have got C or D grades in a course, then people are going to cast aspersions on your capability to teach that course or to help in teaching that course. Now remember, sometimes TAs may also be assigned some basic lectures in a certain class. So it's not that you are not going to teach. You may actually help the professor conduct some basic classes and so on also. Now the number three issue has to do with fundamentals. And while grades are important, having a good fundamental in a certain subject is very important. What I mean by this is that you must know the basics of a subject. And this is important because whenever you are conducting tutorials, you are conducting labs, then you are directly interacting with the undergraduate students. And these questions which come from undergraduate students are often very basic. And so you will have to reply to these very basic questions. And to answer any basic question, for example, in fluid mechanics, they will have questions about Bernoulli's theorem. In solid mechanics, they may not even be clear about concepts such as stress and strain. So you will have to have a very good knowledge to actually explain these things out, because keep in mind that it's actually very difficult to explain the basic concepts. It's simple to explain complex concepts because these are shrouded in complexity. But whenever you think about explaining basic concepts, it's actually sometimes more difficult. Now, the next thing to keep in mind is about the English communication skills. And as you all know, English is the lingua franca as far as academia is concerned. And so most of the classes are conducted in the English language, not only in US, but in many countries around the world. So what happens is that all the communication you will have to do in the tutorials, in the different assignments, in the projects, in the labs, these are all going to be in the English language, and therefore you should be able to talk in the English language, you should be able to correct the different papers in the English language and so on, and you may also have to give the feedback to the student using proper English language because you do not want to offend the students by using negative words and so on. Now, the number fifth issue has to do with fairness and good character. And this is something which is especially important for people who are teaching because the student should not get the feeling that you are biased toward certain groups, certain friends, and so on. So this often happens is that in UG level, there are students who feel that the TA is being biased. And if this particular thing creeps in, then they will send off an email to the professor concerned and it will have deleterious consequences for your career. So you must ensure that you are unbiased toward all the students, whatever their race, whatever their nationality, whatever their gender, ethnicity, and so on. And also you should not be somebody who just hangs around with his own ethnic crowd because that also gives the picture that you are probably biased toward a certain group of people. So generally remember that it's not just fairness and character, but also the perception of fairness and good character, which is very important as far as undergraduate students are concerned, particularly in any international university. Now let's look at point number 6, and this has to do with kindness. And kindness is an aspect for anybody who is in the teaching profession, is that while they are strict in terms of grading, in terms of not allowing cheating and so on, they have to be kind to students who may not have too much knowledge, because this is part of your job as a teacher, is that you have to transfer this knowledge to the student, you have to help them in their dilemmas and so on. Particularly the TA has to be kinder than a typical professor because this is a level at which the student may expect various simple clarifications to different questions. So you may get questions on calculus, somebody may ask you about the derivative of sine of x, somebody may ask you to solve a certain simple simultaneous equation. They are not able to do that, and you should not look down on them because they are asking you very simple questions. Maybe you are doing your master's degree in robotics or machine learning, but remember that students may be asking you questions at a very basic level, and you will also then start appreciating the life of a professor who may actually be doing research on quantum mechanics or on cybersecurity, but he or she has to deal with students who are probably still struggling to figure out why different things in calculus are working or not working and so on. Finally, number 7 point has to do with research skill. And remember that though you have got a TA, ultimately you are in the university to do research. And so the expectation will be that you do your TA job very well and you are also doing research toward your master or PhD degree, whatever degree you are signed up for at the university. And certainly what happens is that in many projects nowadays, there is a lot of research component. So in fact, you have projects where you may have to design a drone system, where you may have to design a solar car, or you have to help the students design these things. And then there are a lot of capstone projects out there which are in conjunction to the industry and company. And what happens in these courses is that you have to have a lot of research mindset. So the students are going to come to you with design problems. Maybe they are trying to build a drone and it's not working out, it's not generating enough lift, it's got control problems. And so you have to, at that point, don the hat of a researcher and to help them in the research problem. So there is no clear demarcation between teaching and research. At the end of the day, teaching of research is often the problem which many people have to face and which TAs have to typically do.